Hello, and welcome to the first episode of Smoked Barbecue and Whiskey. I'm Adam Wacholtz.
And I'm David Sapienza.
Thank you so much for joining us. We're so thankful that you guys are here. David, I'm going to let you handle the barbecue.
Perfect. And I'm going to let you handle the whiskey, Adam.
I like it. Tell us a little bit about your background for barbecuing.
So I started cooking at a pretty young age. My dad and I used to do a lot of barbecuing and a lot of cooking in the kitchen on weekends. And my dad was really big into making sure that I had something to do, starting at like 9 or 10, cutting up vegetables and helping to get everything prepped for making dinner. It was a great experience for risking and trying new things, and it really created a passion for loving cooking for me.
So you tried a lot of new things. I mean, did you ever make mistakes?
Absolutely. We were plenty of things that he and I tried that we would never have again. There are plenty of things that I'd rather not remember that we even tried to make, that's for sure. But I think it's like one of the best lessons in learning how to cook is that you're going to make mistakes, and you just need to be brave and courageous and trust yourself and try new things. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
You made mistakes, but you still have all 10 fingers.
Absolutely. Somehow I still have all 10 fingers.
Even though you're chopping vegetables at 9, 10 years old, you still end up with all 10 fingers.
I got lucky. I'll tell you right now, they got lots of scars and lots of burn marks from years of working in kitchens, that's for sure.
Beautiful. Well, I wish we would have been friends a lot longer so I could have eaten way back when.
That would have been really pretty cool. So, Adam, tell me about your background with whiskey.
Well, I got into bourbon tasting probably about, 7, 8 years ago. Really just kind of started sampling some things and trying some things. We had a group that went out and did kind of the bourbon trail throughout Kentucky and did a lot of the different stops out there. And I really started learning and experiencing things and going from the difference between kind of just walking in and having a whiskey to walking in and trying to identify what whiskey I'm drinking, why am I drinking it, what's in that drink. And, I really enjoyed it. One of the things about me is that I just like trying new things. I can't, even if I have a favorite whiskey, I always want to try another whiskey because I want to try and experience new things. So I just kind of got into that and just always wanted to kind of broaden my horizons.
Very cool.
What about your background tasting?
So, I started drinking scotch as a young drinker, and didn't get into bourbon until just a couple of years ago.
Sure.
I got lucky. A good friend was getting married in Kentucky, and we got to do some really great whiskey tastings there. Got to experience Woodford Reserve, a pretty classic
One of
distillery.
the pinnacle distilleries.
Absolutely.
An amazing place if you ever get a chance to go.
Really cool place for the first distillery to get to go to. Just an amazing experience. And so Steph and I came back loving bourbon and started pairing bourbons with our big Kentucky Derby party that we throw every year for Steph's birthday.
You guys are famous for that party. You'll hear about that throughout the show, I promise.
It's a big deal. Usually about 40 people are invited every year. I'm gonna cook and grill about 5 or 6 different meats, and we try to put together a really good collection of whiskeys for people to try with some fantastic whiskey cocktails, and some of it where you're just getting to taste the whiskey. But it's still about taking this really good barbecued grilled meat and pairing it with a really good whiskey.
That sounds delicious. It sounds delicious. I've been a part of it, so I've been lucky enough to know that it's delicious.
It's a great experience. It's a lot of fun for everybody. So, Adam, you love the whiskey. You got some experience with cooking too.
I do.
You love barbecuing as well.
I do. So my dad grew up in the meat business, right? Ever since I was young, he's been in the meat business, whether it's selling pork butts or doing flavors and seasonings. And ever since I can remember, we were a little kid in the backyard throwing a baseball while the grill was cooking, throwing a football while the grill was cooking, kicking a soccer ball while the grill was cooking. We probably weren't in the backyard while the grill wasn't cooking. And at some point, staff will get to it, but I'd love my dad to be one of the guests we have on the show.
I'd love having him here.
And his experience and what he's done would be awesome to have too. So
I think that sounds like a great partnership and a great opportunity. I think we got ourselves a really good team between the two of us for our passions of barbecue and whiskey. I think we're going to have a really good show to put together for these people.
Awesome, brother! Can't wait.
It's going to be great.
So, Sap, we've talked about creating this show. What are we doing with this show? What are we doing?
That's a great question, Adam. We got to figure out who we are and stay true to that. And I think that what we really are any dad who's just wanted to do some grilling with their family on any given Saturday.
Yeah, there's a million barbecue shows out there though. What's going to make this one different?
A lot of those shows are competition guys.
Yeah.
And we're really not those guys. And I want to stay true to simple cuts, simple methods that any dad could do with their backyard barbecue.
You mean your grill and smoker doesn't hitch up to a trailer and haul 500 miles to the local competition for a 15 grand prize?
I'd love to hit that day. I have talked about wanting to get one of those big, massive grills, but the truth is, I'm much happier with that than the big $8,000 or $10,000 oil barrel grill that could be pretty cool hitched up to the back of my truck.
Well, I know we've talked about it. We don't have a whole weekend to do that
We
right
don't.
now. And most of the people that we talk to don't have a whole weekend.
That's
You know,
true.
they have 4 hours on a Saturday, maybe a little prep work the night before, getting things done. So how does that tie into to their lifestyles?
I think that what we need to be thinking about is the simplicity and accessibility, and something that we would just naturally enjoy. Something that could be a good pairing of a nice drink on a nice day with something nice to eat.
Feeding your family in the backyard sounds pretty good to me.
Sounds pretty good. So, Adam, how are we different than some of the other shows that are out there with the bourbon?
Well, most of the shows out there that focus on pairing a meat and a drink focus on a beer, right? A lot of them focus on that craft beer, and I love a craft beer. There's an amazing craft beer selection here in Colorado, especially, and that's great. But very rarely does it actually focus on a whiskey or on a bourbon. Sap, you guys are famous for throwing your Derby Day party. We have paired many different cuts of meat and many different bourbons, and we always talk about, well, what makes a great pairing? You can have a great meal and you can have a great drink, but that doesn't necessarily make them great together. I love fish and I love ice cream. I don't want them together. So I think we should focus on what can really pair a good meal and a good drink together.
Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and soon on our YouTube channel.